My thing was I wanted to really get more into the numbers. I'm as far as the financials, I'm really not good at that. I was a little standoffish about it. But now, especially after we had that meeting in Austin and we kind of went over, just how simple it was and what numbers we need to look at. We didn't know everything, but there's a few things we need to know as far as KPIs and, what our break even is. And it kind of really simplified things for me. It made it kind of broke down that fear of what my numbers should be. And the thing I like about the group is that I feel like that it's not just me out there by myself. I mean, there's other, contractors that are my size, they're a little smaller, a little bit bigger, but they're having the same issues that I am. So it made me feel a little bit better that, I'm not alone trying to, work this thing by myself. I got somebody else that they're having the same issues, and we can kind of visit about that and come up with some ideas that may work for us. Another thing is that it's we come up with some ideas, give it to our guys, or we hear it from somebody around here and we say, well, that's fine, but that's just not going to work in this market. But there's other contractors in different states in smaller markets than we are that they're doing these things. It's just working out. So that kind of it doesn't give us the excuse of, hey, well, that's fine for you, but it's just not going to work for me. And we were looking for something that was, I wanted to get kind of connected with other contractors. And the thing I like about that was I've got other contractors in my area, but they're actually my competitors. So I'm a little standoffish about, how much can you talk about? But with this, I've got contractors in other areas. We'll never compete against each other. So I am more apt to open up, and they are, it's really easy for them to say, hey, well, I'll just send you what I've got, or we can talk about numbers freely because we're not competing against each other. We're actually there, to back each other up. I think most of it is just setting goals. We're so involved in the day-to-day that sometimes we don't see the big picture. We think, well, if we're looking at, $1 million in revenue, that's a pretty good chunk. But how much do we have to have if we break it down into 12 months, or we break it down into 4.5 weeks every month, or, 5 days in a week? So to get that $1 million, $2 million, $3 million, it's not, well, how can we get that within the year? It's what do we have to do today? What do we have to do this week to be able to accomplish that by the end of the year? And that's really what helped us.